Inequality Test Review, Part 2, Page 2, Problem 4. 5x minus 2y is less than 10. We're putting this in point-slope form because we need the practice. 5x minus 2y strictly less than 10, so right off we know we need a dotted line because it cannot be equal to 10. Now I subtract 5x from each side. That's going to give me 5x minus 5x is 0, so that gives me negative 2y is less than negative 5x plus 10. Well, if negative 2y is that, what's 1y equal to? How do I figure this out? I divide every term by negative 2. Why negative 2? Because I want to get rid of this coefficient. Negative 2 divided by negative 2. Negative 5x divided by negative 2 plus 10 divided by negative 2. Here is a place that laziness really can get you into trouble, because this is going to be changing. When we divide or multiply by a negative number, the direction of the inequality changes. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is positive 1. Y is now greater than negative 5 over negative 2. Negative divided by a negative gives us a positive. 5 over 2 times x minus 5, because 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5. So what else do I have? My slope is now easy to see, 5/2. My y-intercept is easy to see, negative 5. And if y is greater than the expression, I will shade above. We can also test a point. Here we go. Y-intercept is negative 5. My slope is 5/2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Goody, goody, goody. I have a dotted line. I have 3 points. I'm very careful to do this accurately. If I don't make an accurate graph, I cannot use my graph to predict. And then what was the point? Why did I go to all this trouble? We carefully put an arrow in either end of the line because it's not a segment. It goes on forever. And let's see. Is 0 bigger than negative 5? 0 is bigger than negative 5. I'm testing my point 0, 0. So my shaded area is here. You will notice that I am not shading all the way up to the line, because it's very difficult to see a dotted line if I shade perfectly and very carefully right up to that boundary. All right, next problem. Y is greater than or equal to x. Y equals x, or f of x is equal to x, is the linear parent function. A parent function is the simplest possible function of a family of functions, and in this case the family of linear functions. A linear function is a function in which the highest exponent of x is 1. So, y is greater than or equal to x. Y is greater than or equal to 1x, so my slope is 1. If y is equal to x, when x is 0, y is 0, therefore my y-intercept is 0, goes through the origin. My line is solid because y could be equal to x. Now, do I shade above or below? If y is greater than, I shade above, but what if I'm not sure? Ooh, and not only that, but also my other problem is it goes through the origin, so I cannot test my favorite point, 0, 0. Uh-oh, what to do, what to do? Well, first, we don't panic. Next, we draw a really good line. Really good solid line. We make sure that we put arrows on the line. And let's test the point 2, -2. Let's just test this point here. 2, -2. Is -2 bigger than 2? It is not. -2 is not bigger than 2, so this cannot be part of the solution set, so anything above is my inequality. Okay, 3x plus 2y is less than 4. Well, what if x is 0? If x is 0, 3 times 0 is just 0, so that gives us 2y less than 4. And divide both sides by 2. That means 1y is less than 2. When x is 0, y is 2. Now what if y is 0? If y is 0, that gives us 3x is less than 4. We divide both sides by 3. 3 divided by 3 is what? 1. Good. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1x is less than 4 over 3. Okay, we can do this. So, if x is 0, y is 2, and if y is 0, x is 4 over 3. That's kind of ugly. So I think just to be safe, I'm going to put this into slope-intercept form. 3x plus 2y is less than 4. I want y by itself, so I subtract 3x from each side, and 3x is equal to 3x. 3x minus 3x is 0. That gives me 2y is less than negative 3x plus 4. Now I'm going to divide every term by 2. 2y divided by 2 is less than negative 3x divided by 2 plus 4 divided by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so 1y is less than negative 3x over 2 plus 2. Well, we knew that. Let's carry on. My slope, as we've determined, is negative 3 over 2. My y-intercept is positive 2. My line is dotted. And what do I shade? Y is strictly less than my expression, so I shade below. But what does the line look like? What does this line look like? Well, we know the slope and we have a point. -3, positive 2. -3, positive 2. So we have a dotted line that follows this track. And let's test a point. Is 0 less than 2? 0 is less than 2. So we shade below. Whatever the x is, y has to be smaller than the output. And that's the end of page 2. Good progress.